Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Hoy estamos en un episodio más. Estamos con, para mí, unos invitados muy especiales. Han sido dos personas que nos han acogido de 10 y me hace mucha ilusión tenerlos aquí. Se llaman Eli y Shahan y bueno, detrás de las cámaras hoy tenemos que nos están ayudando Coque y David.
Un aplauso
Por
para
ahí
ellos.
están, por ahí están. Y nada, ¿tú querías decir algo, Morcillo?
Ya, bueno, lo voy a decir en inglés, ya que el episodio de hoy lo vamos a hacer en inglés, como son americanos. Pues bueno, first of all, I'm the worst talking English here, so I'm gonna try to do my best. Let's go with this insane episode.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
It's
Ready?
a challenge for us, but I think we're gonna do it really good, and I think it's a it's gonna be a very good conversation. We're gonna talk to a different audience. They speak English also, so I don't know. What's up, Eli? Introduce yourself.
All right. My name's Elijah Stein. I'm from a place called Ledger, Connecticut. It's a small town in southeastern Connecticut, and I'm a freshman here at Sacred Heart. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be here. Thank you guys,
Of
and
course, bro.
let's have a fun time. Let's have a good conversation.
Shahan.
Awesome.
introduce.
I'm Shahan Rad. I'm a freshman here as well. I live in Edgewater, New Jersey, in Bergen County, and I'm also excited to be here.
Okay, just for starting a little bit, because we always talk about Martha and me. We're the new ones that come here and everything, but you're also new here in this university. So how are you feeling these first 6 months? How do you see it?
You know, it's definitely a change from high school, but I think it's we have a lot more free time and a lot more opportunities to do whatever we want here. So for example, in high school, it's from a certain time to a certain time. So from like 8 a.m. to 2 or 3 p.m., it's school.
And then you go home.
And then you go home. And you have to go from 8 to 2 or 8 to 3. Here, you have classes at either in the morning or in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And in between that, we have training. But other than that, like, you have so much more free time to do whatever you want here. So that's kind of like one of the better things about college. But it can also be one of the worst things as well.
Yeah.
Because with all that free time, you have to find new things to do and things like that, you know?
Now that you are talking that you got a lot of free time, what do you usually do on that time?
So in my free time, I've been trying to learn Spanish, obviously. So I've been doing a lot of that, and I also like to, spend time with God. That's another thing that I really like to do. So reading the Bible is one of the things that I like to do in my free time, and Bible study is another thing. So usually I'll do that in the morning. I try and do it in the morning every morning. It doesn't always happen. I'm not perfect, but I really do enjoy to
Class.
spend time with God.
And also for you too, it's also really, I don't know, but for us, we always talk like this is a huge change for us because we come from another different part of the world. We leave our family, but you, a bit different, but you also do it. You leave your parents, you leave your brothers, you leave your family back home, and you come here.
Yeah, I agree. It's like it's a big change as well because I went to high school in Jersey as well, and like we're always with our family. Like we expect our family to make us food every single day, and coming here we're like dependent on ourselves. We have to figure out our
You
own
also
schedule.
feel
and
it,
stuff.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that
definitely
change.
feel it. It is a big change, but obviously not as big as your guys' change.
Yeah.
What do you think it was the worst change for you here? Like the most difficult challenge?
I'd probably say like going off what he said is the free time because my first like few months here I didn't really take advantage of the free time I had. I would just sit around watch TV or whatever.
Yeah.
I can
And then he's my roommate, so he knows how I changed. So then
Just
now
playing Xbox
24/7, and then in the spring I realized like I might as well do something with all this free time I had. So I've been picking up new hobbies, like whether it be reading books, like looking at the stock market, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
just pretty cool because you can keep yourself busy with all these other things.
I have a question for you, Eli. Coming back that you said that you are so religious with God and all that stuff. You always before eating, you pray. So I wanna ask you, what do you think or what are you thinking on your mind? What are you
Alright.
praying for?
So I can tell you the prayer that I always say before I eat. So
Because for them that don't know, every time that there's food on the table or we're gonna eat or something, he goes like that and he says like a little prayer, right?
so it's always a quick prayer. So it's Father, thank you so much for this amazing food. I'm extremely grateful for this gift. Praise and glory be to your holy name. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. It's something quick, and it's something that I think is really important for me because not everybody has the same opportunities that we have. Not everybody has food every day on their plate. Not everybody has the amazing facilities that we have. So something quick like that I think is really important for me.
Yeah,
And we will talk about it later. But for starting the podcast, I want to know how was the difference between. Well, first of all, let's. I wanna you two guys to explain the difference between playing high school soccer and academy soccer. That it's what you're playing, and what's the difference? Like how is soccer here before college?
I would say like a lot of people usually start off with high school soccer. For example, for me, my career started as a freshman. I played high school soccer, and there's levels called the freshman team or the youngest, junior varsity is the middle age, and then varsity for the older guys. And if you're good enough as a freshman, you play varsity, which is what I did. So I did that, and then I played high school for 1 year, and then
So varsity is like the first team.
the first team,
Okay.
the first team
of the high school.
of the high school.
Okay.
So then from there, if you do well in high school, you get recruited to academy, and then I got recruited to Red Bulls Academy, and that is like a very intense academy. Like I always talk about comparing it to like Valencia or the Atletico Madrid of Spain, because that's how it is here. So with that, you can't play high school soccer, strictly academy with the team every single day, and then from there,
Every single day.
From there, you either sign a professional contract or you end up at a college.
What about you, Eli?
So obviously it's like Shahan said, but I think another important thing is having connections. It's super important, like whether that be like from friends that you know who are in academy. If you want to play academy from high school soccer, it's super important to have connections.
You also
and
played
people
high
that you know.
school.
I played 1 year of high school freshman year, and then so personally for me, I had friends that were in academy, and they got me an opportunity to try out. I personally think that if you go to the open tryouts that these teams have, there's a very slim chance of you getting on
I
like
agree with
an
that.
MLS Next Academy, which is what I played, and like it's so important to have connections. Those little connections are so
And
important.
what was your academy?
So I played on a team called Beachside Soccer Club in Connecticut. So our home field is Bridgeport,
Yeah, and yours?
UB.
Mine was I started with Red Bulls, and then I went to Cedar Stars Academy next to my house.
And what's the difference between college? Because here in college we play only fall and spring.
Mhm.
You guys don't compete. How is it in an academy?
So
in a high school?
for high school, it's like college as well. You play
Only
in the fall, but then you play with another club team in the spring. But with academy, what's different, like where we played MLS Next, the highest league in America right now for the youth, you play all year round basically. You probably only have maybe less than a month in the winter, and then you have a fall season, a spring season, and then you qualify for the championships at the end, and all year round.
Yeah, and how are the leagues ranked here? Like in terms of academy, you know what I mean? You two were in the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first
league.
one.
The top.
There's 1, 2, 3 below. How that works?
Sort of. Do you wanna?
Okay, so it's not really like 1, 2, 3. It's
Yeah.
not like there's not really any relegation.
There's only like
system
a
here.
set one.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no relegations or
No,
No,
no
no.
relegation.
So some people like to say that ECNL is on the same level as MLS Next, and I do think that ECNL is another league
another.
that's in the United States, and I
Yeah.
think that there are some ECNL teams who are on the same level as MLS Next academies,
Yeah.
but overall MLS Next is much
Way
better.
higher.
It's a way higher level
And
overall.
if you play ECNL, which is supposedly considered second division for the youth academy, you're allowed to play high school in the fall.
Okay.
So you can play both on the
Yes.
same year.
But
Yeah.
then if you play MLS Next, which is the top youth league, you could
You can't.
only do MLS Next.
And any of your teammates, like, is it normal to go from academy from MLS Next to a professional club, like to a professional,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
or the normal thing is to go to college to soccer?
Okay, so that really depends on a lot of things, but so if you're in MLS Next, it's kind of like two separate things. So there's MLS Next academies, and then there's the MLS academies.
Like Red Bulls.
Like Red Bulls is an MLS academy,
Yeah.
and what me and Shahan did after you played at Red Bulls, like
Yeah.
Beachside, is an
So
MLS
it's like
next
two,
academy.
like two,
Two
leagues.
leagues in itself.
Yeah.
So
Two leagues in itself.
basically,
Exactly.
where the team that I was on, the Red Bulls team, I would say, let's say there's 22 players on the team. I would say 12 of them have signed a professional contract or semi-professional
That's
contract,
crazy.
That's
and
huge.
the rest of them, including me, are playing Division One. But like with the other, like the other side of the academies, with the Beach side, with the Cedar Stars Academy, the majority play college soccer.
College soccer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And why did you decide to come here to Sacred Heart for you guys?
For me, it was a tough, like, I was committed actually to Fairfield University, which is in the same league as Sacred Heart, but the coach left and came here, so then I decided to come here, and I love it here, and it's a great school. I know his situation's a little different.
Yeah, so for me, so our coach here at Sacred Heart actually was a coach at the academy that I played at. So he already knew who I was and everything. And I really didn't have that many options because in high school, my GPA was very low. And that's super important. Like having a good GPA in high school is super important in the United States if you want to play college soccer, because it opens up so many options. Your options are very limited if you have a low GPA. So one of the main reasons that I came here was because I was grateful. I'm extremely grateful. I had the opportunity to come here with a low GPA, which is very difficult. It's very difficult to come to a D1 school with a low GPA. So, yeah,
That's
why
crazy,
I
at
came here.
least for us. Like, how here in America, you have to be a good soccer player, but you also have to be a good
Yeah.
student.
Mhm.
You have to have a high GPA. In Spain, it's completely different. Studies and academics go from apart from soccer.
But it's
Completely?
different because we don't play on the high school. We play on clubs, in clubs,
Yeah, but-
you know.
Well, it's crazy how you can be the best player ever, and
Yeah.
if you don't have a high
Can't go
GPA, your
Yeah.
possibilities go
Mhm.
go
And
down.
the higher the GPA you have, the more doors it opens for other schools. There's like prestigious universities called the Ivy League, like
Yeah.
Yale, Columbia, Harvard, and the kids that go there, they're great soccer players, but at the same time they have 4.0 GPAs, which is perfect straight A's, to open up the door to get to that school.
That's crazy for me. Bro,
Yep.
that difference between America and Spain,
It's huge.
it's crazy, and I really like it here. I think it's a really very good thing for the people.
Mhm.
Like for sure, because even though you don't have a successful soccer career, you can go to another field in terms of academics and be the goat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
And also, I was wondering, how do you guys get the scholarship? Because at the academy, because of soccer? Because I know that here, for example, we have a scholarship of soccer, because in Spain the grades are separately from soccer.
Mhm.
So what about you guys? What's the difference?
So for us getting seen, let's say by Sacred Heart, for example, since we played in the top youth league, every Division One coach in the country arguably goes to all these events. So throughout the year, we have 3 to 5 big showcase events where you play teams like we play against each other, and all the Division One coaches watch, like Clemson, Stanford, everyone. And from there, if you do good, they reach out to you, and what they do is they ask for your transcript. That makes sure that your grades are eligible to go to the school. And then from there, you continue to talk, and then eventually you decide where you want to go.
What do you have to get a college, like the grade, the minimum grade?
The minimum grade, really to go to a school like this and a good school is 3.2 is really the minimum. But always, the higher GPA you have, the easier it is, and the more money of the scholarship you'll get.
Mm.
So it's always good to have a good GPA.
And I have a question for you. I've never asked you this,
Uh-huh.
but I know that you're a really good student. Like you have really good grades, and in academic terms, you're a beast. But you never wanted to go to Ivy League, for example.
So that's another thing. Ivy League was actually one of my first choices. I went on a few Division One visits, and they're all mainly for academics. My first Division One visit was actually to Harvard, and I went to Harvard on a visit. It was an unofficial visit, and I really liked it there. Things didn't go out there, but then I also went on a visit to Boston University, Holy
Yeah.
Cross, which are all these Patriot League smart schools.
Yeah.
And for my family, is grades are very important and
Yeah,
academics.
I
So
know.
going to a high academic school is very important for me.
Also, I think it's different from Spain. If you get graduate in a Ivy League, I think you get the best job in the,
Mhm.
for example, in the city here.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to get good grades.
How it works with that as well, if the Ivy Leagues in these big schools, is that say you graduate from one of those big schools, Yale or whatever, that's on your resume. So immediately, like these banking jobs, all these, any job, any field, they see, wow, this guy had the work ethic and the good grades to go to this school. We should look at hiring.
Yeah,
stuff
even
like
though
that.
like when we get older and we start to applying for jobs when we graduate, it doesn't care if they know if the company knows us or not.
Mhm.
The Ivy League students are gonna go first.
Yeah, it's incredible.
No.
Yeah.
That's really crazy. And also talking about another thing like the program or program Sacred Heart, I think it has get a big step forward in terms of bringing American people because for example as you said you have to, for playing academy you have to do it really good at high school, even though I think I've known a lot of people from high school that we have in our team that are really good and it doesn't really matter, but I think that Sacred Heart is doing a really good job in terms of bringing Americans from this type of leagues, from MLS Next and everything. And I don't know, how do you see our team right now? Like, how do you see the level that
I
that we
think
have in the team?
I think that we have a really good group of guys, you know. So I think that the internationals really do bring a different level of the game, a different understanding. I feel like, and it really helps everyone else. It really helps them to build and to understand the game more. Because I think that's one of the biggest differences. I feel like we have like physically we're very similar, but I think where you guys have like that next level is that understanding of the game. And I think that like you guys bring that different understanding that really helps to build everyone else on the team up. You know what I mean?
I agree as well. I think that like especially me and him playing academy our lives coming in, we who knows we'd play with these kids from Spain, Germany, Iceland, Australia. And I really think that what I started to realize like during preseason is like the best thing I could do to become a better player is learn from these guys. Learn what they have, what we don't have, and try and combine it for the team and make it better. And I think that we've been doing it well. We've integrated, especially since we're so close. We've been learning from each other. But you guys, I think you guys bring a new type of play that we don't have here.
And we also here, I speak for me, but I'm sure that Morty thinks the same way. You also are really different type of players from we are used to in Spain. Because, for example, at practice, you guys, I remember the first week that we just practiced, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna play a single minute here. I'm not gonna play a single minute. Like you guys practicing are insane. Like for me, are insane, and I also learn a lot. Like I think I'm learning a lot in terms of how to practice good, in terms of the discipline that you guys have. That's crazy, and but I also agree that in general in Europe, soccer I think is a bit more developed in terms of understanding
Yes,
soccer.
I agree.
But in those other fields, I think like I really admire you guys because it's crazy.
But I think their practice level is insane also because, for example, us in summer we don't have leagues.
Yeah.
They play leagues. For example, you get commit in a USL two
Yeah,
in AC Connecticut, I think. So
Mhm.
how did you get that? What are you gonna do in summer?
yeah. Okay, so me personally, I'm gonna be playing USL two with AC Connecticut. So it's a team based out of Danbury, Connecticut. Really good group of guys. So I got that opportunity because a couple of the guys on the team now actually played for AC Connecticut and USL two before. So they offered me and I was like, why not? You know what I mean? It's a great opportunity to continue to improve and to get some minutes because that's super important. Here in college, you don't always have the opportunity to play. And so getting extra minutes over the summer is really good. It keeps you in shape and helps you to develop as a
For
player.
people that don't know what USL two is basically a league that like very similar to the league that we have in the fall, right? But in summer. These guys, they don't have enough of playing the whole year, but they want to play in summer also. And you, Shahan, you're playing USL
Yeah,
too,
I'm
finally?
playing with Cedar Stars Rush, the like my academy's USL 2 team, and it's basically like it's majority Division 1 players because it's a very competitive league, and from all over we come around, we get recruited to play for the team, and then we just play other Division 1 players over the summer for like 2 months, and then we go right back to preseason.
Now I understand why in the preseason are flying.
They were flying. No, I going back to what I said. The first week, honestly, I thought I wasn't gonna have this at all.
I remember
At all.
talking with you saying, bro, those guys are flying.
Bro, we
So-
couldn't. It was crazy.
It's a good
It
week.
was crazy.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
I know so.
And also, I want to bring something. I don't know, like, for example, for me, it was weird how the college schedule in terms of playing games, it's like, for example, we only play for 4 months and a half, only in the fall. And then in the spring, we don't have official games. We're just
Scrimmages.
practicing. There's, by the NCAA, I think, there's like a law that we cannot practice more than I don't know how many hours.
8 hours, I think.
And that's like, do you guys really understand that? Because I don't understand that at all. Like, I want to know what you, to guys like you, what do you think about it?
I never understood it as well because with the academy we played as much as
The
possible
whole
in the
year.
spring.
With the academy, you play
Yeah,
the whole year.
much as possible. But in the spring, you only have like around 5 games and limited hours of training, and that's it. Where the fall, you have a whole season, so it's much different.
What do you think?
It really doesn't make any sense. I'm not too sure why they do it. Maybe to protect players' health. I really don't know. Like I couldn't tell you guys. Like it's really weird.
For what I've heard, is like a way to letting athletes also experience college life. For what I've heard,
Yeah.
and because also we're not just athletes, we're student athletes. So they try to give us also the time for studying, hanging out with friends, and all that stuff. I think they do it like that's the way they think about it when they do it. But I honestly, I would love to compete the whole year. I think it
Yeah.
will be, and for all of us,
Super
it
competitive.
will be way better because we will improve. I think a lot.
But I've seen that the NCA is trying to change that schedule. I've seen that by the 2026-27 fall and spring,
I hope.
they are trying to
Yeah, they're trying to add
play,
more games.
Yeah, playing fall and
NCAA,
playing
NCAA, if you're hearing us,
Add
change
more
it.
games.
It could be a good change.
One thing that I will say about the spring though is that it's a really good opportunity for players that don't play as much in the fall to
Yeah.
get the
Yeah,
opportunity
that's-
to
I
play in
agree.
the spring and to get more minutes
Yeah.
and to prove what they can do, which I think that's basically the only good thing that we have about the spring is the fact that you have the opportunity to show what you can do and to improve.
And also maybe an opportunity also to okay, what like for yourself, like what should I improve? And you go out there, you have more time to go to the gym, for example. You have more time to practice. I don't know, penalties if you want. I think it's a time for you to
Develop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree as well. It's like for my example, in the fall, I played like maybe only 100 to between 200 minutes, and I think this spring it's been a good opportunity for me and him as well to get a lot of minutes and like figure out what we need to work on, and we've had the opportunity to showcase it and develop it because we've been playing the games, and it's just good, and it gives us the confidence going into preseason in the fall, which is super important.
Now changing to another part, what are you guys studying here, or what are you guys gonna do in the future with this degree?
Okay, so for me personally, currently I'm undecided, so I'm in exploring business, but I think I already know what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get a finance degree. I'm not too sure what I want to do after college, but I know I want to continue to play soccer in any way that I can. So no matter the level. So I'm not too sure like what job I'm gonna have with my finance degree after college, but I know that's the degree that I'm gonna get.
Okay, wait. I wanna say that, for example, it's different here in Spain because you can't be undecided in Spain. Before getting the university, you have to know what you gonna study. Here, you can stay in the freshman year and freshman and sophomore year undecided, and you can decide by your junior year. Now, what are you doing?
For me, I sort of have a bit of it figured out. My major right now is finance, and in a few months, I'm going to add another major, finance and financial technology and analytics. And for job wise, of course, I'd love to play soccer after college, but being here in school and playing gives me another opportunity to get into the business world. And I would really like to go into banking, whether it be investment banking, which is very popular around here, or private wealth management and stuff like that.
We talk a lot about these things as too,
Yeah.
and I want to know, like, right now, how are you? Because here in Spain, if you're in compared to this in America, if in Spain you're in a really really good level as we are here, soccer wise, you just have soccer in your mind. And here I've been saying the whole podcast that is the two things combined. So now, how are you like? How do you see soccer and job?
School and job. So I think for me right now, especially me as a freshman, young right now, I am prioritizing soccer rather than getting a job at the moment because in America, how it works is you have 4 years of school. So your freshman and sophomore year is usually where you decide where you want to do, whether it be your sport or maybe get an internship. But you really need to start focusing on your job when you're a junior and senior. So that's when you need to decide where you want to get an internship, where you want to work, stuff like that. So I think using these 2 years to really do well in soccer and maybe see if I could take it somewhere, but as well on the side, because as we said, all the free time we have, I've been looking into the majors, to jobs available.
Yeah, I know.
It's very open to do both.
I'm agree too. And also, I wanna say that as a freshman, you have a dorm of 2 and 3 people. They are living together, Marquez and Shahan. And next year, once you get the sophomore year, you live in a house or 4 or more people. Next year, we are living Shahan, Marquez, and me. Eli is living in another dorm.
And I think we're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
We're gonna have big problems
I think we're gonna fight each other.
because Shahan and me, we're more like
Calm,
more
relaxed.
We like to I don't
Watch
know,
movies,
we like to
everything,
read,
read.
but
More
these guys
series.
are
Oh,
We are way different.
Yeah,
I like to be on the dorm. I like to keep doing things.
I guess we'll see next year.
Yeah.
How do you see next year your living?
It's gonna be
Yeah.
really interesting. So I'm with my roommate Brady Poor, and then I'm gonna continue to be with my roommate next year. So I think it'll be pretty calm. It'll be interesting to have 2 new roommates, but I really wish that we could have all roomed together. That's what
Yeah, it would've
I
been
really
cool.
wanted, but
You
It's
and Brady
unfortunate.
for me is a crazy relationship. How different you guys are. You're completely different. And how good you
The
get
closest buddies on the team.
along. It's crazy.
I don't
Brady
know-
is
I
the
don't know about
definition
that.
of America. And
Yeah.
Eli is
Yeah.
way
Yeah,
different
yeah.
of America.
yeah. I don't know. It was interesting getting used to Brady Poor. At first, I really didn't think it was gonna work.
No,
No,
actually,
at first,
that's crazy.
I tried to stay out of my dorm as much as much as possible
way.
in the beginning. But actually, he turned out to be like super chill, super cool, and we get along really well. So
Yeah, now
That's
you're
good.
like brothers.
yeah.
You guys are best friends.
Yeah.
Wait, do you wanna ask something more? Do you guys wanna talk about something? Do you wanna talk about something that the people wanna know about you?
Anything.
It's up to you.
I think maybe we can bring the thing about you, Eli. I think a very curious thing about Eli is that he's a really 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 deep follower of God, right?
100%.
When did you start with all of this? When did you start like making that decision? Like talk a little bit about how do you live it and when did it start?
Okay, so for me, I started I don't know if you would call it late. I don't really know when like the average age people really start taking it serious. But for me, I really started taking my relationship with God really serious in my sophomore year of high school. So around when I was 15, 16 years old. Before that, things were rough, and I did a lot of things that I regret and things that I personally don't feel comfortable talking about. on this podcast, but I think from sophomore year, I still make mistakes now. I'm human. Everyone makes mistakes, and we all make mistakes. But I think that sophomore year was really the turning point for me, and that's when I really decided that I wanted to take it seriously. So I started doing a program called RCIA. I don't know if you guys have that in Spain.
What's that?
So RCIA is basically like church school. So I would go once a week for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I had a teacher, and she would teach me all about the faith. So I'm personally Catholic, so she would teach me all about the Catholic faith. And I went the first week, and from then on, I was just hooked. Like it really made sense to me. It made me feel like there was something to it, you know. So I decided to put my faith and trust in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And so I did RCIA for a year and a half. And then after that, I was baptized. I believe my junior year.
Because you weren't baptized when...
I wasn't baptized when I was a kid. So I got baptized my junior year of high school, so around 16 or 17 years old. And then I had my final confirmation senior year, actually, so last year. And that was one of the best days of my life, I will say. That day was amazing for me.
And do you think that your life have changed a lot once you start believing in God?
100%. And I think it was a slow change, though. Because you build so many bad habits, or me personally, I built so many bad habits before then, and it was so difficult to break out of those bad habits. But I think over time I've slowly grown and started to do better. But obviously, like I said, I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes, and I'm still looking to grow and do better as a person.
Yeah, and now I also think that we talk a lot about this, and I think I make you think.
Yeah, you do.
But I don't know, like, do you think it helps you, like, soccer wise, in terms of playing soccer? Do you feel your, I don't know.
I don't know if I would say it helps me soccer wise. I think it just helps me in general in my life, like, not just in soccer, more than just soccer. In my life in general, it helps me so much. Having that relationship, having someone to turn to when things aren't going well, things aren't going the way you want them to, is such an important thing. And I think that I have someone to lean on. So
I think you're very, very passionate about this thing. And have you think about, because I think about it, and I think you will be a really, really good student in, for example, theology, or Christian theology, or studies like that. I think you're really passionate, and I've talked with you a lot. I enjoy it, and I don't know why. Like, have you ever thought about it?
Are you thinking on take a minor or something like that?
okay, so for those,
For example, the other day I went to the library by myself, and I went upstairs and I see Eli with the Bible studying it. Like, it was crazy.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I think that for that, I don't think I would do anything with theology personally, just because I don't really know what I would be able to do with that outside of college. How would I be able to make money with that in any way? Like, that would be a really good I think it's really good for me to do it personally, so I can grow and understand the faith more, because that's honestly the most important thing in my life for me. And I think it's super important for me to do that outside of school, outside of all that. But I really don't know what things I could do with
But
theology
as
outside
you said,
of.
you have problems with your GPA,
Mm.
and I think it's not a problem about lack of intelligence. And I think you're similar to me, that when we don't like a thing or something, it's really hard for us to really go deep into it. And I think maybe you studying that, you will improve.
Yeah.
I think I probably would.
I don't know.
as
It's
well,
just
but-
ideas. But I think it would be.
Yeah. I don't know. I really would like to. That would be something awesome that I could do, but I don't know what I would be able to do with that outside of college. So
Okay, I'm gonna copy David questions for you guys. If you guys have to say something for you guys 5 years ago, what do you guys say by yourself to yourself?
I
What
would
you guys would say.
I would say just keep on learning, keep meeting people and just keep learning. The more you learn, the more people you meet, the better it will be. I would just say that.
I think Shahan has a really, really good thing about that because, for example, his dad is from Iran, right?
Yeah, in the Middle East.
And your mom from
Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. And I think you have been one of the most, out of the freshman class, one of the guys that got along better with us, the internationals, Breaky, Morthy, me. And I think you're a guy that really likes to meet new type of people, not just the people you have always around you. And I think that makes you learn a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Just the more experience, the better it is, the more you know. I always, like, my brother always tells me, just never say no, always be willing to learn.
That's true.
Wow. That's easy.
And I've been to your house and everything, and
what a week.
Your mom, your dad are also like super open with,
yeah,
I don't know, it's
like
really
a different culture than like since my parents were both immigrants from different countries, it's like they have their beliefs and cultures from their country, and it's cool because they integrate it sort of together, and as well with the American culture. So it's like we always say, we get the best of both worlds of everything.
I know.
In America, what place do you think is the best one for living? Like what place would you choose for living here in America?
For me, I think when you're younger, it's better to live in a city. When you're younger, because there's so much opportunity, like job opportunities.
New York, do you like?
Yeah, I would say New York is one of the better ones. But the only thing with New York is that it's very expensive.
Very.
But the city life is better when you're younger. For me, because there's so many job opportunities that are available. So I think, like, when you're younger, it's best to live in a city.
I agree as well.
And as you get older, I think that you have a bit more freedom to choose where you want to live. You don't necessarily have to live in a city once you have like a good, steady paying job. You have everything figured out. Like, you can basically move wherever you want. But when you're first starting out, young teens, early 20s, I would say
in the city.
city.
For me, my house is he's been there. My house is probably a 10-minute drive to Manhattan, New York City. So what's really cool for me is that, say my junior year or whatever, if I get an internship in the city, I get to live at home and then go. But he's right. Eventually, when I'm in the workforce, I would love to live in the city.
Are you guys thinking on working in another country? Because I know that you guys are trying to learn Spanish.
Or playing soccer.
Soccer. Because I know that you guys are trying to learn Spanish and you are doing great, asking us questions. But I don't know. Have you guys think about going to another country?
I haven't really thought about it, but I've always been asked the question, imagine if a pro opportunity comes in a country, Spain, Costa Rica, one of these countries. For me, I would love to take the opportunity, and I would, because I love soccer, and the experience would be incredible. That's something that's on your resume. You learn, you meet new people, new cultures, and I think, why not? That would be a great thing.
Me personally, I would say the same. Definitely, if something came up, like an opportunity like that came up, I don't think I would hesitate to take it. Obviously, it would be an amazing experience as well. But in terms of studying abroad, I'm not too sure if I would want to do that. Living somewhere outside the U.S. would be really tough. It would be really tough.
It would be very difficult.
I don't know how that would work, so I'm not too sure about that. But if a soccer opportunity came up, I don't think I would hesitate to take it.
In a second.
Yeah.
In a second.
How much time do we?
¿Cuánto llevamos?
35.
35.
Okay. Okay. For talking a little bit more, how do you guys see next season, next fall? Do you think we can do great things? How do you see the team? How do you see talk to us a little bit about it.
Okay. So for next season, we have a very, very good schedule. I'm really excited for next season. It's gonna be really fun. and so I think that we have a lot of opportunities to really prove ourselves.
Vermont first game.
First game.
And
that's
at
gonna be a
Vermont
great
as well.
game.
And they're the national champions.
That's gonna be a great game. So I'm really excited for the fall. I think that we've taken our spring, and we still have obviously a lot of time to improve before the fall. And I think that we're gonna bring in some new guys that are gonna help us as well greatly. And it's gonna be a great season in the fall.
Also talking about soccer, we've never asked about this. to another people that come here. What are your positions on soccer?
Oh.
What is your position?
Okay, so I'm a forward. Basically, I play anywhere up top. I personally don't like playing striker, but if I have to, I will. But yeah.
I'm a midfielder, mostly a 6, but I also play right back.
Have you guys always played in that position, or you guys start playing another position? Or
Yeah, I've always played somewhere in the midfield.
Me too. I've always played up top.
Yeah.
Always.
And how do you see the team?
For next year,
Yeah.
I think the team is gonna do very well. I think this spring, even though we didn't have a lot of games with like a huge freshman class coming in, I think we've built a great culture as a team, and we know how we want to play as well as our goals. And I think that we keep working at it, and it's going very well. As in the fall, new players coming in and they'll adjust, and it's like everything to be excited for.
I have really good feelings. I think we have soccer wise. We have a really good freshman class. I think we have really good older guys, and with new people coming in, new internationals, you guys. I think we can do things.
Yeah.
I'm totally convinced, and
I
I'm
agree.
looking forward, bro. I'm super excited for.
Yeah.
we have been talking, you and me, a lot, saying that after get graduated in 4 years, we are gonna win 100% one win.
Yeah, we're gonna
100%.
win.
We did a bet, and I think
100%.
we're gonna do it.
And it's gonna be
100%.
with David, Javi, and Koki. So it's gonna be-
Wait,
it's
next
for
year.
sure.
It's gonna be next year, 100%.
100%.
So, and another question, that's it. Have you ever, guys, played another sport? Because I know that in America here it's typical or common playing 2 sports or more. I know that you only played soccer since you were 4, but what about you, Shahan? Did you
When I was younger, I played like a bunch of sports. Like
Yeah, that's very typical.
here
It's
in
very
America,
typical.
what's like usual is your parents put you in like 5, 6 sports: basketball, football, tennis, everything. You play all these sports, and then as you get like older, then you're like, oh, which one do you like? Blah blah.
What did you play?
So when I was younger, I played tennis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My dad used to make me get tennis lessons, everything, tennis and swimming as well. And when I was younger, my dad used to play water polo. So he was in Iran. So he
I
was
cannot imagine your dad playing. water
neither
polo.
can I anymore. So he was a semi-professional water polo player. So we'd have to go, me and my brother, every Sunday, every morning, swimming. And then we'd also play tennis because there was courts right next to our house. But then eventually, as I got older, I was like, I should probably
How
stick with
old,
soccer.
more or less?
Probably like before like 8th grade, so probably like 13, 14, around that age. And then I was like, I like soccer, and my schedule's too busy with soccer, so I'll stick with soccer.
Soccer.
when you were 14?
Yeah.
So in
You?
summer or high school?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, for me personally, so I mainly only played soccer when I was little. I played basketball for 1 year when I was like I don't know, 10. Like, and then I was like too short. I wasn't good enough, so
I've seen you playing basketball in years.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's pretty
They don't
Yeah.
know how fast
Your
he is.
skills are
but I
insane.
never took basketball serious. It was always something that I just played like in my backyard,
Yeah.
like nothing serious.
The more popular sports here are football, basketball, lacrosse, like the
Lacrosse.
true American sports. I don't know if you guys have lacrosse in Spain.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
we
it's
have
very
here.
popular here.
Yeah.
Lacrosse is no, we don't have it. And I've never seen a game. I would like to.
Yeah,
You see
Baseball as well.
lacrosse boy, and they are tough as fuck.
yeah,
Like,
they're
they are
big. It's a lot of running. It's different.
Yeah.
But lacrosse, when there's professional.
Yeah.
lacrosse,
So the thing
I've
with
never seen you guys watching anything,
No.
or it's just a college.
So the thing with lacrosse is like right now it's called the PLL, which is like the Premier Lacrosse League, and it's not like super big. There is professional, but you don't really get as much money as like playing
No.
soccer pro or football or basketball. So a lot of people use lacrosse to get a degree and then go into the workforce from there. But at my high school, I went to an all boys Catholic school in New Jersey, called Don Bosco Prep, and lacrosse was a very big sport. So there's a lot of lacrosse guys.
Talking about salaries in sport, also I think that really it was really different for me was the thing about the here, for example, you ask anyone, and all of them they will tell you that you can earn way more money with a really good job than being a professional
Wow.
soccer
Yeah.
player.
100%.
In
Yeah.
Spain, it's totally different.
different.
In Spain, if you're a professional soccer player,
Yeah.
that's it. Like
That's it.
you're gonna earn way more money
Yeah.
Even
than
in the
whoever is
second division,
in a
third
really
division.
good job.
For here, like we have the MLS, which is obviously the first division, which you make a decent amount of money there, and then you have like the USLs, the USL Championship, a new league for semi-pro, MLS Next Pro, but people think that, and
But
it's true.
If you're a normal player
Uh-huh.
in MLS, how much money are we talking about? Normal player.
The average.
Probably like 100,000, maybe a little, maybe even
Yeah,
less.
in that area.
Around that
Maybe
area.
less.
100,000.
With that
Yeah.
man in Spain, wow,
No, but 100,000 for being a professional
It's not a
soccer
lot.
player
it's
is
not
nothing
a lot.
here.
And how much money can you make from a really good job here? in the city?
Say out of job, you go into like investment banking, you're probably making over 100,000 right out of college. Whether in pro,
right out of college.
rather in pro, it's way harder to earn more and more money.
Look at yesterday with Saki. Once he graduated for the medicine, I think it was,
Yeah,
or
for
medicine, he's gonna get 3,000, 4,000 per year.
Yeah.
So that's a lot.
300 for
Three-
for-
yeah, not 3,000.
300,000.
Yeah, the medical field
Yeah,
pays
yeah.
a lot very well.
That's
That's
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
Especially what he's doing as an anesthesiologist or what he wants to do, that pays so much
Yeah.
money. Because that's an important job. If you mess that up, it kills
You messed
people.
that up.
That's
kills
it.
people, so
Yeah.
it's important.
so
And in second divisions, for example,
Here,
like second division, how much money are you making?
USL
if you're-
Championship, max 50K.
Yeah,
max?
but the thing is,
50K, like,
maybe
max?
50, like depending,
Maybe?
50 to 100K. But the thing is,
Yeah,
people still do it when they're young because it's free housing, free food.
exactly. That's the thing.
So that's like, why not try? But
Mhm.
it's not as much money as it is in Europe or Spain.
Yeah,
You
with
gotta
those
spend it.
things, you're getting free housing. So
Yeah.
that's why it makes it such a good opportunity. You're not making as much money as you could be if
Mhm.
you were working,
Yeah.
but you're not paying for housing or
Yeah.
food. So
And it's more common now that instead of going to college, kids our age already are playing professional with the league, the MLS Next Pro, like that, and then they're earning the money from now.
And those guys that go directly to these type of teams,
Mhm.
they study, they go to college, or
So at Red Bulls, like once you get to a certain level and they want you to play for the second team, which is the MLS Next Pro team called Red Bulls 2, you eventually start doing schooling with Red Bulls. You're homeschooled, or they have a program that you go to at the facilities. You go to school from a certain time, and then you go straight to the field, and you train your whole day with the team. But it's not like this, like schooling like
but
this.
when you finish, you have like some type of degree,
Yeah, you have a diploma for high school, but it's a homeschool diploma.
but it's not the same as
No.
graduating
It's
from
not-
it's
Not in
Sacred
high school,
Heart.
and you
Yeah,
don't get
yeah.
a college degree. You don't.
yeah, it's a
So
high
that's
school.
Yeah.
way worse. Like those guys are
Yeah,
going
straight
for
soccer.
Yeah, they
100%
have to, yeah.
soccer.
They have to.
Yeah.
No?
But they're making money at the same time, and they're like 17, 18
Yeah.
years old, which is very, very cool.
And there's people that say, "Look, I know I can play there. I have offers, but I don't want to. I want to go college.
Yes,
I want to."
there's been a lot of people where I've like grown up with the Red Bulls NYCFC Academy where
Mm.
they've been one of the best players, blah blah blah, but then they just start to lose like the
Yeah.
urge to play pro, and they want to have the college experience, the social events, stuff like that, the degree. So there's a lot of people that choose the college as well.
I think, do you guys wanna talk something more? Or
Yeah, I'm curious about
yeah.
in baseball and football. That they're the really big sports.
Yeah,
There's a lot of difference between the salary of the top leagues of those sports and soccer.
it's
Yeah,
a
it's ridiculous
it's a
amount.
huge salary.
Huge amount more.
So it's not a thing of sport. Like here, football players or basketball players or baseball players they earn a lot.
Way
They
more.
earn way more than
Yeah.
soccer players here because soccer's not the most
Popular
yeah,
sport.
it's not the most popular sport here.
So what's the
Mm,
what's the
and-
most popular that you can gain a lot of money playing?
I'd probably say football or basketball, honestly.
I have no idea. It's one of
It's
those
one of those
three.
two.
One of those
Three.
three,
It's
'cause
because
baseball as
like
well.
growing up in like America, like back in the day, soccer wasn't as big. Now soccer is growing incredibly
Yeah.
at a super fast rate.
How do
and
you
it's
think it's
getting
gonna
big.
grow? Like in 15 years, 10, 15 years.
A
What do you
lot.
think
Yeah,
it's gonna be?
that's gonna grow.
Hopefully
a lot.
we have relegation. Honestly, that would make it
That
make
would
it
be-
huge.
They talked about
That'd be
having a relegation system for the USL Championship. So there's like USL Championship, then USL League 1, like the USL League 2, and like they recently like submitted a request to have relegation, so it makes it more competitive. Like,
Wasn't
the leagues.
there were thinking about making a new USL league that's on the same level as MLS?
Yeah,
I've seen something
they were
about
thinking
that.
about doing that.
Making a USL league that's on the same level as the MLS and having relegation between all the USL.
Yeah. Because
the
right
USL
now,
teams.
none of the leagues have relegation. So,
Yeah.
say in the MLS, there's a team that loses every year, never gets barely anything, and they just stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think it's gonna?
I think they
If,
will.
if relegation
In
happens,
15
I think
years,
they will.
100% there will be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
relegation
Do you
system.
guys think
Yeah.
it's gonna be the main sport in America?
No.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so.
Never be.
I don't
I
think
think it would be one of the top sports, like
Yeah.
especially with the World Cup coming to America.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Imagine how many people are going to be traveling here in 2026. But I think sports like football, basketball, just everyone plays those sports.
Yeah.
I think we've been really lucky because, like, for us, now in the time that we are, I'm not gonna say that it's easy. I'm not gonna say that it's easy to come here, but because of course you have to play División de Honor, you have to play
Yeah.
in top leagues in Spain, and very few people play them.
Like that.
But I think that in 10, 15 years, soccer, as you say, is going to be bigger, bigger, and bigger. And coming here as an international, every time it's going to be harder, 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 harder.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity to have a degree here, playing here, I think we have to be really grateful, because I think in the future it's going to be way harder.
But also it's gonna be good, for example, for Europe, because we can recruit people from America to play in Europe. So
Mhm.
if the soccer
true.
come bigger here, it's gonna be good for all the world.
Yeah,
That's true.
I agree.
That's so true.
That's it.
So
Do you want to talk about anything? Anything you want to...
I got nothing.
What do you got?
I got nothing.
You got something? I can see it in
I
your
got
face.
nothing. I got nothing.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it?
it's gonna. Do you wanna
I
say
think it
goodbye?
was... did you enjoy it? How do
Yeah,
you feel
that was
here? I
actually
think
good.
it was... I think
That
it
was
was
actually
class,
It's
good.
right?
class.
No, I
So
was nervous.
You were nervous
Yeah,
at the
I was
beginning,
nervous
but
at the
now-
beginning, but like, bro, we started getting
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Once you get talking,
It's like a normal
all the time,
conversation.
exactly.
Once you start talking,
I was actually.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun, like, talking about things, talking about yourself. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
people enjoy that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
100%.
think it's very good. Así que nada, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros una vez más, y espero que lo hayas disfrutado.
y
Nos
bueno,
vemos en el siguiente.
gracias también a Coque, a Javi y a David, que están ahí con las cámaras y el micrófono, que son los que nos ayudan.
Venga,
Thank you.
adiós. Bro.
Yo, that was close.